Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another Q-tip session. My name is David Strausser. I am sales here at Quaint Business Solutions. Quaint is an SAP Business One provider who values excellence in customer service as well as knowledge of the SAP B1 application. Part of what we do at Quaint is ensure that we are showcasing the great features within the SAP B1 app and helping empower our clients, people like you, and others to use the system to its fullest capabilities. Today, we're featuring, I think, a feature that we sometimes, forget exists in SAP Business One, which is the Dunning Wizard with Quaint's very own Marley Shoddy. Hey, thank you for walking us through all this out-the-box functionality and features of the Dunning Wizard, Marley. And whenever you're ready, I'll let you take it from here. But real quick, Marley is real. She's not an AI bot. So please ask any questions you have in the Q&A section right on the top of the webinar there. You'll see it, Q&A. Throw it in there. At the end of the webinar, we'll try to get to as many as possible. If not, we'll reach out via email. Okay, over to you, Marley.
Thank you, David. And I will also distribute a document after the fact, just listing some of the features that you will see today. So without further ado, this is what we are going to do today. We are going to just first discuss what Dunning is used for, and then look at the configuration that is needed inside Business One for this to work, what drives it, what dates and levels and templates, print layouts, and setup, of course, and then what transactions will be picked up via in the Dunning Wizard, and how you will send out those notifications to your customers. So I would say Dunning, the purpose of Dunning is to make sure that your cash flow comes in. And this is it can be a very gentle reminder for your customers to let them know, listen, there is a bill due in maybe 2 weeks. Would you please be so kind to pay on time? It can also be used to then let the customers know who is overdue. Listen, you are overdue. Can we give you other payment choices? Things like that. So it's not necessarily you laying down the law. It can be a very positive tool for you to use. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the portion of this where I actually share SAP Business One. Here we go. And as you can see, I've switched off my dashboards. We are going to have a very clean demo today. So with regards to setting up the Dunning, I would say the first place that we can look at is in the customer, not a vendor, in the customer record. So on the payment terms, we do have the Dunning term set up here. Now, this Dunning term for every customer that you create can default to one that you choose it to default for. And that you will set up in your general settings on the first tab. You can say that for every new customer I add, please use this one. And as you can see, you can define more than one. So let's go in here. Dunning is a very old word. I've actually searched it up, and it originated in the 17th century when they were saying to dun someone is to insistently ask for payment. I would say collection is a better word these days. Now, there are many things that we can set up here. I'm just going to toggle through them. I have a standard one set up where you can see this is mostly just used for letters then, because I do not charge a fee, and I also do not have interest that I want to charge the customers. This one
You're a very nice vendor, Marley.
No. This one is the one that I'm using. I'm kind of in the middle. Like Goldilocks, yes. So this one is the one where I have set up the most things that you can set up. So let's talk about this one. The Dunning letter you can have 3 levels. So the reason for this is after 30 days after your invoice was due, the wizard will pick it up. And it will know that this one is on Dunning level 1. This is still the friendly one, where you actually say, listen, you are due, can you please pay us? And then 60 days, this is, you have to add it together. Then when we hit 60 days for those invoices that is outstanding, we are hitting Dunning level 2, where you're saying, listen, a little bit stronger language, still nice. And when you get to 90 days, you can say, listen, I'm going to give you over to a collection company or something like that. And each of these letters, of course, needs a layout. How is this going to print out? And that, of course, I'm sure you know, we do via our report and layout manager. As you can see, we can have many Dunning levels. You can add more. You can really have a lot. Typically, people only do 1, 2, and 3. And then here you can do a print layout design or a crystal layout. I will show you how this prints out a little bit later, but it's the standard out-of-the-box printout for Dunning. Of course, in the layout, you can change the verbiage to however strong or gentle you want this to be. So this is how it will print out. Okay. Now, the Dunning letter method, we have a couple of those in here. If you do 1 per invoice, that's a little much, I would say. Your customer might have 10 open invoices in various stages of not being paid. And getting 10 Dunning letters is, in my mind, a little bit overkill. You can have 1 letter per Dunning level. All the ones that's 30 days overdue get 1, and then the ones that's in 60 days overdue. Or you can do just 1 letter per business partner for all of the levels. And you can also apply the letter to the highest level if you want to do that. So in this one, in this setup, what I did is I say, yes, I am going to charge a fee for these letters. And I'm going to charge interest for Dunning level 2 and Dunning level 3. And as soon as I tick these tick boxes, it is going to ask me, listen, how do you want me to calculate the interest that you want to charge? So we just did this bank interest, just telling it what we think the number of days in a year is, and number of months, and this is the interest rate that we are going to charge. Of course, there's other switches and toggles where we can say, if this is a invoice in a different currency, then are we going to use the exchange rate from the day of the invoice? And are we only putting interest on the original amount or on the open amount that is still paid? And which is the date from which we calculate this? If we're doing interest every time from the due date, yeah, we're running. And of course, all of these things is, it's also different in different countries. And there are rules and laws with regards to this. And also your company terms and conditions to the customer will probably also state this. It is a good idea to work with your company accountant or with your CPA when you set this up. So yes. The last thing is here, we can do automatic posting of this fee and of the interest. Well, and when we charge this on a service invoice, we do need to go set up the GL accounts for this. So I just had it point to miscellaneous income. Okay. You will also remember that on the Dunning master data, you can, even though this, let's go in that one again. Even though this Dunning terms say charge fee, and I want to charge $5 for these levels, I can say for this specific customer, I do want to say no. Do not charge them fees. But I do still want to do the Dunning letters. So very ways to tweak specific customers. Different customers can have different ones assigned to them. As soon as you assign a new one, if you change it to a customer, it will in retrospect also apply that to the other invoices, because Dunning isn't really saved on the invoice level. So, and also when I change this in here in general settings to be another one, it will change it for all of your customers. That's just good to know. Okay, so let's see. You now know that you can actually block the posting from here, but also on the document level, if you decide that that is a very special invoice and you do not want to have that invoice, let's look at this one, to be included in Dunning, you can do it. And I can update it after the fact. So this is not one of those fields that we cannot update after the fact. And that was it for the config of this. So I do think it's going to be good to still have a business partner open on the side. So Straw House Supplies, as you can see, have a very big balance with us. Now, of course, Dunning is very closely related to aging. So you can see there's many invoices that's very, very old here. And the Dunning wizard is going to pick this up. Okay, now, and I'm sure this is going to be a question. You are not going to see all of them there, and I will show you why. Because I have been playing with the wizard this morning. Okay, so as you know, in Business One, we have several wizards. That's very easy to walk through. Each page on the wizard do have toggles and switches. So let's see what it says here. Not paid invoices with a certain date range. Overdue payments. Does Dunning wizard keep tracks of the customer payment behavior in the database in order to make important? There is a Dunning report that you can run as well. And you can, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see. Let's do the first one. Now, this is meant to be used. It depends on the company, really. I have one customer that's doing it every week. You can do it bi-monthly or monthly. You can have one Dunning setup that you run over and over again. I did want to play around a little bit this morning, so I created a lot. Okay, we're just loading. Oh, sorry, I don't want to load that one. I want to load a new one. And this one is going to be pigs. Of course, you will give it the name that you want. And maybe the name will have more significance if you actually select a level. You can run it by level, and you can also run it by the Dunning term that or you can run it for all at the same time. For me, I'm going to just use the charge fee. You have to add your customers. So in order to do that, of course, this is the standard SAP Business One, and selection boxes where you can do it to and from. This is just selecting everyone. Of course, you can go through. So you can set up a Dunning run for a specific customer group if you want to, and of course, properties. This is telling me that I only have 4 customers that have overdue invoices. As per that Dunning term that I set up as charge fee only, that one. Considering connected vendors is actually a very good idea. Some of your customers can also be your vendor. And because there is a place in your business master data where you actually link the two, it is yours. Oh, there's my Dunning levels as well. And when the last one. Oh, there's the connected vendor. If the system knows that those two are connected, then it will keep into account that you also need to pay them. And here you can see that you can deselect the customer if in this case you know that you don't want to run it for this specific customer. And we can also include customers with a zero balance. I don't understand why you would want to do this. Now you're just going to see everyone on your list when you get to the next screens, and that can be a little bit confusing. I'm going to go next. Okay. So now each one of these, of course, I'm sure you know that you can do help file, right click and say, what's this? Oh, so it just popped up on my other screen. And you can now read exactly what that field is all about. In these kind of cases, when I'm not sure what to do, what I will typically also do is I will go to context help, and it will bring up the SAP help file. And then I can just educate myself a little bit on this. Okay, so document types. Do we want to include incoming payments not based on invoices? I would say yes, unless you know there's a specific payment that you want to keep to the side. Credit memos, yes, that's not based on invoices. And manual journal entries. The reason why these two are here is because the Dunning wizard will look at reconciled documents and take them off the list. And in this case, this will not be reconciled. So we do want to include these as well. Of course, your date range. If you do want to exclude really old ones, you can. I don't see the need for this because if they're really old, you probably did mark it as bad debt. You can say the date up until what you want to run this. If you are actually printing stuff out and you want to mail it tomorrow, then you might want to change these dates. Okay, I'm going to get back to that one.
Quick reminder, throw in any questions you have in the Q&A and we'll get to them at the end. Thank you. Go ahead, Marley.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, now, sorry, let me just get this back. Oops. You remember that for straw house supplies, there were many display unreconciled transactions only. This is many open invoices. Why do I only see 2 of these? So I'm just going to go back and display all open items here for selected BPs only. Next. Okay, now you can see the reason we didn't see those were the system recognized that I already did a Dunning run today for those specific invoices. So it will not let me do another one today unless I now do what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to not do that. Okay, so in this case, you can now see that you still have the ability to exclude certain documents from this. And I do want to exclude just some of them for if we need to run this again. We see the invoices, the interest days. Now the running date is not here because I haven't run it for these invoices yet. Do you remember that I'm charging a fee of $5? And this is per customer then. We have no interest on this Dunning term. You still have the ability to say, no, I don't want to do it for this customer at this stage. I'm going to go next. Of course, you can put your cost centers if you want to include cost centers, because this is going to create that fee AR service invoice to your customer. And if you do want to add cost centers and things like that to it, then you can do that. You can change the posting date, etc. I'm going to go next. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to go execute and print an email later because I want to show you what really happens. I will come back to the screen. Service invoices will be added. Wonderful. Of 3 invoices. Okay, let's go look at it. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the last one. And there we have our $5 for glass slippers. and it did go to the Dunning fee account that I did set up. So now we have the fee AR invoice. If we did want to do an interest invoice as well, then that one would have been, it will be two separate invoices. So the system, okay, well, the system did what we told it to do, but I just said execute. I didn't say, let's go and email this. So I'm going to go here. Now, this is the beauty of this. You can now go back to this one. And of course, there's not a report that you can go back to where all of the saved parameters and stuff were. You have to come back to this screen and go through the steps to get to the last stage again, to be able to now do what you did not do. Okay. In this, and these are in sequence, meaning it is a logical sequence. You can save it and do nothing, and then you go through the same steps as what I did just now, and you can save the recommendations. As I did two of these that I will just page through quickly. I want to show you how we're going to email those Dunning letters. Okay, and of course, what you do need is you need, on that customer record, you need a contact with an email in an email group. So, and in that case, I'm just going to do one to actually show you what the result is going to be. I'm going to put my own email in here. I hope I got that right. And I'm sure that you know that we can put a subject and a body here in the setup in administration so that you don't have to type it yourself. So I'm going to go send for that one. Okay. While I wait for that to get into my inbox, I'm going to show you the two others where I went through the whole wizard process and selected a different outcome. So for pumpkin carriage, I went through all of this, and I believe I did save recommendation report, and now it's giving me these two. Just let me look at the other one. The other one I actually didn't give a name. Oh, this week you can see it saved. Save recommendations. So that I can come in later and then I can do any of the other steps. So that's what's happening when you save it. And the email came through. Now it's not going to be pretty, but it is going to work. Okay, because I haven't set up any subject and text, but here is the wizard. Sorry, this is how it will print out. It's the very standard crystal layout that you see here, where you can change your wording to be what you want it to be. And you will see all the invoices listed in here. Okay. Well, in a nutshell, really, that is Dunning.
Amazing job there, Marley. So let's tackle some of these questions I got here in the chat. Thank you, everybody who has sent some stuff over. Just switching screens to pull it up. So first one is the Dunning wizard. Is it the same on HANA and on SQL, or is there a difference between the two?
No, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Okay. Next question is, if you're already running Business One, okay, but this is something that you did not implement or not currently using, how easy or how hard is it to either set it up on your own, or do you need the partner to do it? Like, what does that look like? What's involved with that? Can you kind of dig into that, I guess they're asking?
Yes. I will be distributing a document after this that you can use as a springboard to do this yourself. It will include this one setup that you need to do. You have to do the crystal report layout as well. Your customer needs to have a contact person assigned to a specific email group for the emailing to work fine. And then there's just the Dunning wizard that you need to run. Yeah. Now, I think once
To
you have the
actually walk
document,
through,
it will
right?
be easy. Yes. And of course, we
Yeah.
are there to assist as well.
Perfect. And then this kind of ties into that, but the question would be, what license do you need to run the Dunning Wizard? Are you able to do it with limited or pro? What do you need?
That would be a pro license.
A professional license? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And the very last question I have here would be, what if you cannot find the document you want to send the Dunning letter for in the recommended list?
Well, that is one. Yeah, it's so you run your wizard and you do not find the document in your list. So before, I would say one of the things is that you already did a Dunning run, and that oh, I cannot do this anymore. But it was a run for that same day. Then it will not come up to be run again. That's one thing. The other thing is you can, of course, block Dunning letters for a specific AR invoice. You can also go troubleshoot on the specific customer to payment terms and see what is going on here. And also then just go see here, maybe maybe the days are set wrong or something like that. If you do not see I'm just thinking of, oh, the other thing is, it is that invoice was paid or that invoice was reconciled with a journal entry. That will also pull it off the list.
Okay,
Or the
perfect.
due date isn't falling within the Dunning days, 30, 60, 90.
Okay, any final questions? You got about 10 seconds. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up then. Thank you, everyone that came here that joined us, especially Marley. Awesome show, awesome, teaching Dunning Wizard. It's something that's out of the box that we all kind of forget about. We appreciate you all being here. Please be sure to follow us on LinkedIn and check your email announcements for our next product feature and other great things going on at Quaint. Trust me, we got a ton going on right now. You're going to love it. Also, make sure to pop over to our website, www.quaintbusiness.com, and locate some of our amazing takeaway documents and other goodies, like the In Case You Miss It document from today's webinar. And thank you again for joining us today, and we'll see you next time for another Q Tips session. Cheers.